That's going to be us talking about some boxing, and that's going to be Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder preparing for any opponent at this point. And who is the better option first, AJ or Ruiz? We all want him to fight AJ, but I think that if fighting Ruiz is the best type of tune-up, then let's get it on. That's what you think of when you think of Deontay Wilder. You want Deontay Wilder back in the ring because he's one of the more exciting fighters in the world. It doesn't matter if it's for a title, if it's for bragging rights, anything of that nature. The guy is a box office smash. He's must see TV. He's a guy that can end a fight with one punch, and we've seen it on several occasions, pretty much his whole career. So Deontay is playing the waiting game right now. He was supposed to. I thought we were supposed to get this Andy Ruiz Deontay fight, and that fight was actually supposed to be slated for, I think, sometime mid-August or sometime in September. Now we're sitting on our way, a day away from September. Still no paperwork signed on that fight. Contracts are in place, but no paperwork has been signed. I think Deontay signed his side, but Andy's still playing the game. Andy's saying that they're not paying him enough for this fight, and they said he asked for $10 million, and a big laugh came out because that's true. It's not worth $10 million. You're not worth $10 million for this fight. That's the whole thing, because it's not a championship fight. It's going to be a pay-per-view that's going to be carried mostly by Deontay as well, too, because Andy has lost a lot of fanfare because the inactivity is inexcusable. And then when he goes out there, every fight is life and death now. He hasn't had a fight where he really dominated any fights. You know what I mean? Where he had issues with Ortiz, he had issues with Areola, and those are actually his last two fights. And sometimes guys just don't have it anymore once they get the money. And that's kind of what we see now with Andy Ruiz. He got beautiful things now. He got ranches, cars, houses, things that he did not have when he wasn't fighting guys like AJ. I know this. I saw when he came up to fight the Russian over at Carson. I read something Vinko. But the thing is, and I interviewed him too. That's what's making me real sad. But yeah, when he came to Inglewood that day, when we were at the hotel, it was like he was a normal guy. You know what I mean? It was almost like he was an opponent. And pretty much now it's big time stuff. He was able to acquire a mass amount of money, but that money has been spent up pretty quickly as well too. There's a lot of people to pay for. There's a lot of people who have stories that, Andy is felt for. There's a lot of things that have pretty much, said to him that you got to demand a certain dollar amount so then you can get your comfort, because when you're asking for that much and you've already made a ton of money off your last 4 fights, that means there's money. That means there's money missing, or there's money that can't be replaced because he is going through a domestic situation with his wife as well too. So there's a lot of things that just say that Andy Ruiz is just not the right opponent for Deontay, because at the end of the day, it probably would wind up being an easy fight for Deontay because the guy's mentally not there. He's only worried about money now. And once guys start worrying about just the money, they are no good for the ring. I'm sorry. They just not. They just showing up for a paycheck now. And that's okay, because that's what you're here for. And I always say that, prize fighter. But when you're at this point of your career, your money should be taken care of, because you've should have put the people around you. You've already had 3 significant fights where you made a good amount of money. Now you're over here asking for more money. So that means that you're spending too much money. Now, Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, this is long overdue. We know that him and Anthony Joshua have to get this thing on, because this fight determines exactly who the hardest cracker is. I'm sorry. Who's the hardest banger between the two? Because this isn't even about belts. This is about the just idea of it. You know, Wilder AJ just seems like something that cannot be passed over at all. You know, we had Bruno Tyson, we had Lennox Lewis, and Evander Holyfield. You know, we have had so many great fights between the top British brother and the top USA brother in the heavyweight division, and we have to get it on. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people want belts to be on the line, all that good stuff. But this fight right here has the makings of being a fight where both can probably split the first two, and then we can go ahead and get a third one on. And that's what type of ramifications that this fight has. And I feel like Deontay knows he made the mistake years ago by not just going in and fighting Anthony Joshua pretty much immediately after he got done with Fury. Fury should have always been seen as just some tune-up situation, and he should have never gave him an opportunity at a rematch because he didn't deserve it. He was a champion before, he was undisputed before, but at the end of the day, if you change the situation up and you make Tyson Fury the guy that gave Wilder his championship defense, his opportunity at a championship, then guess what happens? If the same scenario happens, Tyson Fury would never give Deontay Wilder a rematch. You know, because he would have said, I won that clearly, even though you knocked me down twice. And literally, the ref should have waved it off the second time. So, yeah, you know, but all in all, Deontay Wilder can't be waiting too much longer. So, if he can't get AJ or Ruiz, then you know what? It might be time to call Charles Martin, you know? So, with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. When I get back, we're going to jump into the Dodgers. We're going to jump into the MLB Wednesday, and we're also going to go ahead and talk those tickets. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop Dibiase, the Primetime Captain.
Good News Only Racing Club.